state and federal courts. Julie moved to Ireland and argued against that country's total ban on abortion at the European Court of Human Rights while participating in efforts to liberalize abortion laws worldwide. We had closely followed and supported Supreme Court arguments in many other abortion and women's rights cases. We had marched and voted, and then marched again. Wash, rinse, repeat. Every time the Supreme Court hears an abortion case, it brings out crowds and marches, increased public debate, and anticipation that this time might be the end of the abortion protections first established in Roe. As the court has steadily become more conservative and more anti-abortion, women's rights supporters have become increasingly anxious about saving Roe, with good reason. Fixated on the Supreme Court, legislators in red states continuously lob opportunities for the court to consider laws that are passed simply to provide a chance to turn back the clock on Roe's protections. These anti-abortion trial balloons demonstrate utter contempt for existing law, for example, by banning abortion within the first trimester, and are so blatantly unconstitutional that they would not be put on a first-year law school exam. Yet, they serve the purpose of firing up a zealous anti-abortion base and, more importantly, might lure the conservative courts to further narrow abortion rights. American politics have become more polarized in the past decade, and the chasm that separates the two sides of the divide on abortion is unrivaled. Abortion rights have been fought over in courtrooms, hospitals, and parking lots. The vitriol and violence associated with abortion access, from clinic blockades to bombings and assassinations of doctors and clinic staff members in their homes, workplaces, and churches, have few parallels. In Congress, at state and local levels, and worldwide, there is little to no compromise on abortion. Although Roe dramatically liberalized access to legal abortion in 1973, since then, politicians of every stripe have moved to limit abortion access in the majority of states. As a result, abortion rights and services have been disappearing before our eyes. For marginalized women and disproportionately for women of color, inequities in access to health care services overall impose limitations on the ability to obtain an abortion. Every time the courts or legislators allow a restriction on abortion, the impact falls even harder on women who struggle for basic services as a result of structural racism, poverty, or youth. These restrictions also perpetuate negative stereotypes about women's identities, lifestyles, and cultural traditions. For decades, we have been litigating, discussing, and strategizing together about the best ways to protect and expand reproductive freedom. Controlling women is the result of our work together in courthouses and conference rooms, on planes and trains, and over meals and drinks with groups large and small, working to define a way forward for gender equity, all as conservative forces push us backward. Courts have played a central role in defining the scope of abortion access. As we have been fighting to protect Roe and its progeny, abortion protections have been whittled away with alarming precision. A new ultra-conservative majority now dominates the Supreme Court, placing these rights on the edge of a cliff. Nearly a third of the states have laws to abolish legal abortion that could immediately be triggered at the moment Roe is overturned, or soon thereafter. On the bright side, several blue states have state constitutions or laws further protecting abortion rights, a set of suspenders for when the Supreme Court loosens the belt on Roe. This legal history has shaped abortion rights and strongly influenced both the progress and the setbacks of our movement. It provides valuable lessons for the future. But it's not all about Roe, nor just about abortion litigation. Importantly, we've learned that we cannot allow vital reproductive freedoms to twist and turn on the vagaries of legal decisions or the whims of Supreme Court justices. Neither can these important freedoms depend, like Roe,